I'm Lyndsey Craine, star of How to Kill Monsters, and in the words of Beth from Eating Miss Campbell, I fucking hate low-budget horror movies.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Horror Movie Maniacs. This is a huge one for us. We are very excited. My name's Grant. As always, it hasn't changed. And I'm here with my co-host Ben.
Hey guys. So today we have a very special guest with us. The star of Book of Monsters and the upcoming How to Kill Monsters. We have Lyndsey Craine.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. It's like the nicest ever. How nice is this?
Yeah.
So watching you murder monsters to just being the nicest. It's just crazy, isn't it?
That's like an alter ego.
Yeah, I just envisioned you in that like Wednesday outfit you had on and eating Miss Campbell, just sat there all ominous.
Yeah, I'm just constantly covered in blood. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did want to ask that.
I was going to say, yeah, funny you should say that.
What is the blood budget for you alone?
I don't even want to know. Thousands.
You must
do you run it into your
that.
contract? Do you sort of say, I'm not doing this until at least 3 litres of blood are on my head?
It's like a demand. I have to be covered in blood.
Yeah, most people ask for like beer or something. You just want litres and litres of blood.
Can you imagine if I was like, I must have this much blood?
Not a bad shout. I mean, I'd be there asking for sandwiches and all sorts of food, you know, but...
Yeah. I mean, obviously, ideally, it's when the blood starts to get all crusty. That's when you're like, nice. I don't want this anymore. I don't want this blood on me anymore.
Yeah,
I did wonder that.
Yeah. Especially if it's like loads and loads of takes, you must just be absolutely caked in it.
Yeah, it's insane. I think it's more once you've had it poured over you and then realising that you then have to have that much on you for the rest of the shoot for continuity. That's the moment.
Topping you up.
Oh yeah.
Is it hot or cold? That's a weird question, isn't it?
It's cold. It's really cold.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you kind of forget that it's there. And especially when you're on a 3-4 week shoot and you're having this much blood just put on you every single day. When you go for lunch or anything like that and you just forget it's there and you walk past people who may not have seen you that morning and you're like, hey, it's covered in blood. They're a bit shocked sometimes.
That's pretty cool though. Can you imagine just wandering off into Subway or something and just be like, hey, I'm just here for lunch?
Completely forgetting. And then I'm like, oh, it's not my blood.
Yeah.
It sounds even weirder.
I was just going to say, they'd be like, Dave, ring the police.
Yeah, really try and drive it home, didn't you? So it's definitely not mine.
It's not my blood.
She'll walk in with a chainsaw prop as well, make it even better.
Yeah.
See, it was from a movie.
Exactly.
No, that's cool. Good stuff. That's a good start. Wow. Right in there straight away. So,
straight away.
Yeah. So Lyndsey, I mean, if it's okay with you, we're going to run through a few questions for you. So first off, pretty generic one. What got you into acting? What appealed about it?
Yeah, I mean, acting's always been something that I've wanted to do ever since I was younger. And I did a film and TV course at university, but it was more a production side. But it was always kind of deep down I wanted to act. So even when I was a kid, I used to act films out in front of the TV. And as I got older, realising, they're actually people that are doing their job. Just started working with people from university, just kind of went from there, realised that as much as I loved doing stuff behind the camera, it was in front of the camera that I really wanted to do. So and just kind of went from doing short films into features and I am where I am now. So it's just been the dream to be an actress. So for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and I suppose that's really good experience to get as well, getting the behind the scenes stuff, getting an idea of how that works. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, you get such an understanding of how everything works. And because I did a lot of sort of production design side, but now I do a lot of editing and things like that as well. So
nice.
So it's cool to get a taste of both sides, really.
Yeah, I bet. Brilliant. Yeah. So is the editing and the production side something you want to go into in the future?
I mean, I obviously do just want to kind of keep acting, to be honest, but I do enjoy doing the editing. So I work closely with Dark Rift Horror, who are behind Book of Monsters and How to Kill Monsters. So at the moment, I'm editing a lot of their behind the scenes videos from when we were shooting on How to Kill Monsters, which is a lot of fun to kind of relive it all, but also to watch the days when I wasn't on set and just see how everything happened then. And so yeah, it's a lot of fun to kind of relive every moment through the editing.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds really cool.
So do you like playing horror characters? Is it just the way your sort of acting career's gone, or do you specifically love the horror roles?
It's kind of, it's just, I've just kind of gravitated towards horror. The irony is, when I was younger, I hated horror movies. I'm scared of everything. I'm literally scared of so many things. So that the fact that I've kind of fallen into this is quite funny. But yeah, it's just, I would love to do other genres and kind of branch out and do other things. But yeah, horror is just a lot of fun, and particularly horror comedy. You can go to so many into so many depths with horror comedy. I think you can just push things a little bit further, and it's just fun. I mean, being covered in blood obviously isn't nice, but it is a lot of fun at the same time. But yeah, I would love to do other things as well. It just so happens that I've just fallen into the horror, and the horror community is so amazing. Like, everyone's just so lovely.
I know you expect it to be horrible, don't you?
Yeah. And I think what's cool with horror as well is there's so many like subgenres to it as well. So there's so many different. I did a recently the horror. Like more of a horror drama, so it's a paranormal film set in the 70s, which was really, really cool to do. Nice. So there's a lot of opportunity, I think, within horror. But yeah, I would love to do a nice rom-com sometime. Would be nice.
Do
a film where I'm not covered in blood would be really nice. To be dry for a whole shoot would be great. Yeah,
I've got to say, what was it? Eating Miss Campbell, talking about horror comedy roles. That film was nuts.
Yes, that is. Yeah, it's insane.
I mean that in the right way, because it was brilliant, but it was nuts.
Thank you. Yeah, the Liam Regan, who's fantastic, the director. That definitely pushed me in terms of roles as well, because it was a completely different role to anything I'd done before. And the fact that the character breaks the fourth wall was so much fun to do. I actually really loved that aspect of it. And she was really sassy, and she didn't really care, and that was completely different to the first role I did, which was Book of Monsters, where she was kind of a timid girl who had to kind of become a badass almost. That was a big flip from doing that role to playing Beth, but it was a lot of fun and a good challenge, and a lot of blood involved in that.
I've got to say
that's crazy.
Yeah, the first bit of Eating Miss Campbell, where you're like just saying that you want to just blow your brains out. Drew me in straight away, to be honest. I was like, wow, this is different. So
it's a very different.
It's good.
But Liam's fantastic. He's a great writer.
It took me a good 20 minutes just to acclimatise to what was going on, because in the very beginning, like, where you go and visit your mum's grave, and then your like stepmother and dad are behind you, and like just animalistically just start snogging each other. I was just like, this is amazing. And it happened like 10 more times. I loved it.
Yeah, this is the thing that's funny with that film, is I think my character is probably the most grounded in the whole film, even though she's a cannibal. Like, it's everyone else is kind of like a cartoon character, whereas I tried to keep Beth quite grounded for the audience to at least be able to kind of attach themselves to her. That was kind of my aim.
You can definitely relate to your character. I can't say I relate to the crazies in the rest of it.
No.
Crazy,
I was going to say, you almost made being a cannibal seem fairly normal.
That's a good point.
All that craziness going on behind you, and you're just there, like it's an everyday thing. So
it's your everyday cannibal. That's all she is.
No, it's great. It's good fun. So
I love it.
You touched on as well, just mentioning Book of Monsters was your first film. So that was the first film that I saw you in, and loved everything about it. I thought it was just hilarious, to be honest. Really good humour in it. Some good gore, especially for a low budget film like that. Of all your roles so far, what's been your favourite one?
I have to say, I think How to Kill Monsters, playing Jamie. It was just so much fun. I mean, this is the thing. I think Dark Rift Horror and working with Stuart Spark, the director, his sets are just so much fun. I can't even begin to describe just every day on sets, just so relaxed and so just crazy as well, because there's like practical effects monsters, buckets of blood. So kind of how much blood and monsters were in Book of Monsters, How to Kill Monsters is double. Like there's just so much more going on. It was a huge, everyone was just so lovely to work with. There's a lot. I know we keep mentioning about the blood, but in How to Kill Monsters, I got the most blood poured on me that I've ever had. So if you think I've had a lot in my previous films, this one is so much more.
Wow.
Double it.
Literally. It was liters and liters of blood that we went through on the set of that.
What is the blood? Like, is it literally just like a dried blood mix, or is it like pig's blood, something really bad?
Can you imagine? No, it's a mix, so you can put it in your mouth and things like that. So it's not like anything dodgy. I don't know if it's like a syrupy. I'm not sure what's in it. I don't want to ask, to be honest.
I was going to say, wow, that's brave of you to be fair. Just throw it at me. Keep it coming.
That's fine. I know there's like two different types of blood that they have. So there is mouth blood, and then there's like a thicker one that they use, I think, to throw at you so it can show up better. But yeah, it gets as I said, it's the initial. So they have these so when the monsters are, so particularly with Book of Monsters and How to Kill Monsters, if a monster is killed or anything like that, or a person or anything, they use things that they like to call the blood cannons. So when you hear the sentence on set, let's bring the blood cannon in for Lyndsey, you're like, oh no. It's like, you never get used to it. And they're kind of literally, and they stand just behind the camera, and you have to stand looking and facing everyone behind the camera who's holding these blood cannons, and obviously acting like you're not about to get covered in loads of blood.
Yeah, I was going to say, I suppose you can't flinch or anything, can you?
No, your body wants to kind of tense up as well, because you want to kind of brace yourself. You can't do that either. So you just have to kind of relax as much as possible, but also once they get the blood cannon, you have to close your eyes and things like that. They are all very safe with it. But nothing, it's something you can never get used to, because it's always a shock, especially when they shoot the blood at you, they yell cut, and there's just silence, because everyone's stood there like, what has just happened?
Yeah, I bet they're just waiting to see if you're okay.
Yeah, it's like whispering it like, no, I'm not. Yeah.
I like the idea of a firing range of blood cannons.
I was going to say,
got an image in my head now.
Yeah, there was one of the scenes in Book of Monsters where my character's fighting one of the bigger monsters. They had a couple of blood cannons, they had a blood spray, and then buckets of goo. So that was fun.
Nice.
Literal buckets.
I was going to say, I'm presuming we don't know what's in them either, really.
No, let's not ask for that one.
No, we'll stay away from that.
I love it.
Grant, Halloween, we got to make a blood cannon.
I want a blood cannon.
Yeah, it's just hilarious when you see them, though, you're like, oh no, because they do bring in literally buckets to refill them, and then they're just pumping them up for ages, and you're like, oh, please stop. Please stop doing that.
Wow.
You love the blood, really, I bet.
Yeah.
Stop.
They're like, stop, because I think the further the more they pump the blood up, the bigger the explosion. So you're like,
they're going for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, though. Yeah. So if you see them standing there pumping it for ages, you're like, oh shit.
You're like, that's going on my face. You're like, oh, no.
Damn. This is amazing.
So, Lyndsey, what horror films did you watch growing up? Was there any that you grew up watching that you love? I know I always loved The Exorcist. Was there anything in your mind that sticks out?
Yeah, so the Scream franchise for me is my absolute favourite. I love Scream so much. As I said, when I was younger, I was scared of like everything. I remember going to the cinema to see The Grudge when I was probably way younger than I should have been watching it. And literally I stared at the floor the whole time. I don't even know why I went.
Film.
That's just it's scary.
It really is.
It's the noises.
I love that noise.
I was going to say, you can stare at the floor. That might make it worse, though, if you close your eyes. You can just hear all the sounds.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you are totally right. But Scream for me is, again, it always scared me when I was younger, but I could watch them over and over again. I love the Scream films.
Yeah.
I think Scream, which is my favourite? I don't know. Maybe Scream 2. I do love Scream 2.
No, I like Scream 2.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, I think that's definitely my favourite franchise.
Ben will like you for that one. He loves Scream.
Yeah, I'm a huge Scream fan as well. Yeah. I even like the third one. you know.
Me too.
So that's good.
Me too. Yeah, I understand why it gets, you know, but I'm like, come on, it's fine. It's like it's fine.
It's not a bad movie.
Yeah, I like the latest ones too. I thought Scream 6 was, I think, was the goriest, definitely.
Yeah. I think
there was a lot of gore in that.
I'm just
picturing Scary Movie as well.
I love Scary Movie.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Where they stab Carmen Electra and take her implant out.
It's so stupid.
Yeah,
it's so stupid, but I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah, they're really good fun. Choice. But okay, right, yeah, moving on a little bit. So, favorite horror memory then. So you know, I know you keep saying like when you were younger, you were kind of scared of everything. But is there something, some memory from a film or something that sticks in your mind?
I think actually, now you mentioned it, it's probably a Scream reference again. I remember watching it in one of my friends' rooms who had a skylight, and I think it is in Scream 2 actually, when they're in the cinema watching Stab, and you know you can see I think it's the bit with Heather Graham, and it does a shot from like I think a skylight.
I think it does.
And and Ghostface is like looking down, and I remember sitting there and I was like, oh no. You know, so I do remember that specifically. But I think probably with any kind of film like that, I remember watching The Others, and I really liked that when I was younger. Yeah, and I remember thinking, oh, I can get through horror films without being too scared. So that's always a good kind of memory to have, is remembering that I can that I'm okay watching them.
Yeah. Oh no, it's brilliant. Yeah, The Others, that's a good film. It's been a while since I've seen that, but
me too. Yeah, it's a long time, but I just remember it, and I remember thinking it was such a good twist as well. I was like, this is such a clever film. I really enjoyed it. It was good.
It is
amazing. Right, Ben, I've touched on the blood quite a lot actually. So what was your question? You had one. You had a good one.
I did. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was going to say, so if you could play a final girl, I think I'm going to know the answer already. So if you could play a final girl from any of the big horror franchises, which franchise would you go for?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Sydney. She's my favourite Scream Queen, 100%. I do like Laurie Strode in Halloween as well. Again, it's just slasher films I seem to kind of weirdly gravitate towards. I just love a good slasher film.
Yeah, I do as well. So
yeah, they're great. I would love to do a slasher film. But yeah, Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott is for me the ultimate Scream Queen. Yeah. I was going to say, I would say she is easily, I'd say one of the best modern Scream Queens. You know, when she wasn't in the latest one, was she? She wasn't in Scream 6. No, I did miss her. I did miss her in that. I did enjoy Scream 6, but for me, I was like, oh, but where's Sydney? I was like, if they do another one, I really hope she comes back.
I think 7 is on the cards. I think it's been greenlit. So yeah, hopefully they'll just pay her all the money, you know. I
know. I'm like, come on. She's like the face of the franchise. Just get her back, please.
Definitely.
She really is. Ben, it's you again, mate.
It's me again. Did you wrote this, didn't you? You wrote this.
No, this is your upcoming ones.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Is there any upcoming horrors you're looking forward to?
I can't even think of any right now.
How to Kill Monsters.
How to Kill Monsters, yeah. I'll go see How to Kill Monsters.
I was going to say, what's that then? Not heard of that one. What?
What? I'm trying to think what's coming, to be honest.
Yeah, do you know, now
Venice I'm looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that, definitely.
I mean, now I've asked the question, I can't think of many either.
I know.
So, I think the only actual big one is going to be Saw X.
Yeah, I'm really bad. I've hardly seen any of the Saw films, and I know that's so bad. But I think I'm not a big fan of like the torture horror.
Yeah, it's a pretty big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like I need to watch them, because this is the thing. I am a little bit rubbish with the amount of horror films that I've actually watched, purely because one, just my irrational fear from childhood, but two, like just the gore side. But I think. Yeah, I need to watch the Saw franchise. I started watching the Resident Evil franchise because, again, I hadn't seen them. And they've got to, which did I get to? Maybe the 4th one. They're so ridiculous. So
the slow motion one that I lost it. What's the one that's like 20 minutes of slow-mo? We're on the roof with Claire Redfield.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. They've all got...
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean they're fun. I can see obviously
they're great,
I get what they're trying to do, but yeah. So
Talk to Me's coming out as well, isn't it? Is that soon?
It's been out.
Yeah, that one looks good.
Yeah, it's been out of the cinema, but yeah, Blu-ray release should be coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went to see. I tell you what, it's got a lot of gore. If you've not seen it, Evil Dead Rise.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of blood in that. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the lift scene, you'd fit right in there.
Oh yeah. I was like, all I could think it was that poor actress.
Yeah, especially now we know it's all going to have been really cold as well. So,
yeah.
You know,
yeah. I mean, maybe they warm it up. Maybe they heat it up when it's that volume. Maybe
I was going to say maybe bigger the budget. Yeah, warmer the blood.
Heated blood.
Yeah. Bit of a luxury. Who knows?
Luxury heated blood.
Yeah. But no, we loved it, didn't we? I think we saw that. We did see that together, didn't we, at the cinema?
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Fun.
Yeah.
We've done an episode on it, Ben, remember?
Vaguely. No, I remember. Yeah.
That was so when I was still figuring out how TikTok worked.
Yeah.
And I still haven't.
I was going to say, do we know how it works now?
No. I have to Google some things.
Yeah. Just past that sort of age, aren't we, for TikTok, I suppose?
Right. I've got a question for you, Lyndsey.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight if it was a chainsaw fight? You, Ash, or Leatherface?
Me or Leatherface?
Or Ash from Evil Dead?
Oh, any of them would beat me.
Not even an outside bet on yourself?
I mean, maybe not. I've got a bit of experience with the chainsaw now. Leatherface, I could outrun Leatherface, so maybe I could, get him in the shins or something. knock him down.
And no one goes for the shins, do they?
No,
and thinking about it with a chainsaw, that'd be a good option.
Yeah. And if I remember, your chainsaw in How to Kill Monsters was insanely long.
Yeah,
I might be mistaken on that, but I swear it was an extra large chainsaw.
It's a big chainsaw. The same chainsaw is in How to Kill Monsters too.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice,
so I feel like
I'm kind of chainsaw. Was it a prop?
No, it's a prop.
No, it's good enough. I loved it.
Yeah, it's very well made. I kind of have to. It's just very good sound design surrounding that. The chainsaw. Right. I also with the little thing that I don't know what you call it that you pull to start the chainsaw.
The pulley?
There's actually there's the pulley that'll do. There's actually nothing there. It's just me pretending.
Oh really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I would never have
very
known.
Odd to do in person.
Yeah, I bet. Are you ever tempted to make the chainsaw noise though when you pull the thing?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, I would be. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we can add them on after Lyndsey stop making the noise.
Yeah, how am I supposed to do my lines when I'm making an engine sound?
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, it's quite good because it's quite light. It's I feel like I've kind of got the action now that's needed for the chainsaw because I've used it quite a few times. But yeah, let's back myself. I'll be Leatherface. That's fine. I wouldn't.
There you go.
I definitely think you'd take Leatherface. Ash, I'm not sure about because that leads in a little bit to because I got a few sort of comparisons from Book of Monsters, and one of them was obviously Evil Dead, and the scene with the gnomes where they're killing attacking the poor stripper. That really gave me Evil Dead vibes because of in Army of Darkness where they've got the tiny little ashes.
I was going to say mini ash, yeah.
I think with How to Kill Monsters, it's very much the similar vibe. It's kind of how Evil Dead 2 meets Hot Fuzz is kind of the vibe that's going for How to Kill Monsters. So
yeah, that sounds brilliant. Yeah.
Because I got a few other ones like Cabin in the Woods, and 13 Ghosts. And what was the other one I said?
13 Ghosts surprised me. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. But what reasoning did you have for that again? It was quite interesting. Well,
yeah, because obviously Cabin in the Woods and 13 Ghosts, there's like this chamber of monsters or, this collective of monsters that they unleash at different points. Obviously in Book of Monsters, you probably know better than me, but they unleash these set monsters, don't they?
Yeah.
And then obviously I compared it to The Ring as well because I can't remember her name, but the one where everyone just starts screaming.
Yeah, the Djinn.
That's it.
Oh,
yeah.
That just looked
that
like
is
the
a
Ring.
good. Yeah, because she had the long hair and.
Yeah. And the shower scene where the guy, I can't remember his name again, but the guy saying "just kill me," where he's like merging into that other person.
Yes, yeah.
I loved that. That was it reminded me of The Thing really heavily. I love that.
I remember filming that scene actually, and it was about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a really long night shoot, and I'd been in another room and I was so tired. And I walked in and he had all this makeup on. It was Dave Jameson who played that character, and he had all these these other creatures attached to him. And it took me, I just walked in and I was like, what? I couldn't work out what on earth was going on. That was such a weird night shoot. It was bizarre.
So that poor guy, we're talking about your blood, and this guy's getting glued to other monsters.
Yeah, Dave's great. He's fantastic. It was I wasn't in that scene, so it was nice to kind of see what was going on.
I bet that took a while.
Yeah, it did. Because night shoots are always weird to do, because I think once we'd done that, we went to shoot one of the other scenes where we came out in the barn area.
Oh yeah.
I remember going in and it was obviously pitch black, and we filmed the scene and we came out and it was morning and it was daytime. And it completely messed with my head, because I was like, wait, what? Like, where am I? What's happened? Because it didn't feel like we've been in there that long. Yeah, it was night shoots they're always fun, but they do mess with your head a little bit.
And I suppose a lot of that was at night, wasn't it? If not all of it, really.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, we shot a lot of it on set, so we were able to build the set, which is similar to what we did on How to Kill Monsters. So we had a few location days, but with with Book of Monsters, we filmed like one big weekend on location, which was super fun, but it was all night shoots. So yeah, it's great, but it's weird because you completely get out of sync in terms of time and things like that. And time moves so weird on a film set as well. It just goes so quickly. Yeah, it's you don't understand where the days go, because if you're doing an 8 to 8 day, you think normally it lasts however long it lasts, but on a film set you're like, what the heck, why is it 3 o'clock already? We've still got this much to shoot. I'm still covered in blood.
Now I'm in the right place.
Yeah,
you're like, oh no, they're wheeling out the cannon again. No.
Brilliant.
No, must be a good laugh though.
It is a lot of fun. It really is. When you've got so many like-minded people on set as well. And I think with those films, Stuart and Paul are so open to us kind of bringing in our ideas as well in terms of character and what we think the characters would do, and which I think helps so much in terms of our character development and the film. And it's just fun. It's just so much fun.
That's great. No, it's good. It's good. I think it's good that you have a little bit of input, so you can kind of mold the character a little bit. Yeah, that's really cool. Nice. Right. So finally then, shall we just touch on How to Kill Monsters? So what grabbed me again was the poster. Straight away I saw the poster and I was like, wow, that looks like an amazing movie. It reminds me of when I'd go to the video shop when I was younger and see all the 80s films and be like, this one has the best cover, I'm going for that one.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, the posters were done by Uncle Frank Productions, is their name. And it was, I think what I love about it is just the use of the pinks and the colours on it. It's so eye-catching.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think the poster looks really cool. It's really cool poster.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously I watched the teaser trailer and I was like, yep, this is everything I want, to be honest.
Yeah, my God, me too. I watched it right before we came on and I was like, oh my God, I need to see it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lyndsey, hook us up. We are. Come on, Lyndsey.
No, can't wait. Unfortunately couldn't make it to Fright Fest. It come around a little bit too quick this year. So, but one of our friends from Scared of Horror, Tony, he said he saw it and he absolutely loved it. And then he said he had the pleasure of bumping into you and he told us how nice you were. So so that kind of made me a little bit less nervous for this, to be honest.
Thank you. And hopefully you'll get to see it. It will be on the festival. It's on the festival run at the moment, so we'll be doing other UK festivals, which is exciting. So I think the next one is Dead Northern in York on the 30th September. So we're excited. It's just a fun film. It's just a film that we just hope that people can sit down on a Saturday night and just with a group of friends and just have fun watching. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's just kind of that popcorn horror film is kind of what the vibe we were going for. And we just hope that people have as much fun watching it as we have making it. Is kind of the aim that we have, really.
I'm sure they will. It looks exactly how you just described it, to be honest. So
thank you. It's nuts. It is nuts. There's there's a lot of monsters in there, and it's as you can see from the trailer, it's crazy.
Yeah, the trailer's nuts.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, anyone who's listening, if you haven't seen the trailer, I urge you just to go and watch it right now. Yeah, it's bonkers.
Yeah, my God, it's crazy, isn't it? I loved it.
Yeah, me too. Can you give us a little bit about what it's about? Really, what's the premise? Because it's not connected to Book of Monsters, is it?
No, it's. You could kind of call it like a spiritual sequel, but it's not a sequel in any way. It's just the fact that it's got a lot of similar cast, and it's a similar vibe. So you can kind of say that, but it isn't. Yeah, it's not a sequel. But no, it kind of. So my character Jamie, who is the sole survivor of a blood-soaked massacre at a cabin in the woods, when the police show up, they obviously arrest her because they don't believe her story that a monster was capable of doing this.
Right.
And all the chaos from the cabin follows her to the police station, and just even more chaos ensues there. So she has to team up with some cops and some lawbreakers to fight the monsters from another dimension. So
once again, sounds incredible.
That. Yeah, doesn't that sound awesome?
Yeah, it's literally all I want in a horror movie, mate. So it's
it's going to be so good.
Oh, cool. It's going to be so good. Yeah. And is it mostly a single location film then, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it revolves around the police station and the cabin in the woods. So we were able to film, as I said, on sets, and there's a few exterior locations, but it's mainly around the police station. But there's various rooms that you get to go to, so it makes the world feel much bigger. So
excellent.
Obviously on Book of Monsters, it ended very suggestively that there was going to be a sequel. Do you know why you guys didn't go down a sequel route and why you went down a slightly different route?
Yeah, I mean, there was always talks of doing a sequel, and it's just one of them things that we kind of thought, we want to just do a fresh movie, because I think the thing with sequels are great, but it obviously relies on the fact, if we're trying to promote it, it relies on you seeing the original. So I think it was just kind of like, let's do a new film, new characters, new story, and just and that's the thing. We would have loved to have done a sequel to Book of Monsters, and it's always something that, like, you never know, one day down the line, a 10 years on, this is what they're doing now. So
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Sounds brilliant to me.
Yeah, you probably now own multiple chainsaws, in the sequel. You could dual wield them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go. And we've kind of wrote it already.
I know. You've touched on it briefly, but have you got any upcoming projects you can tell us about, or is it all very hush-hush at the moment?
Yeah, it's difficult to say too much about it, but I've got one film that I just had release on Blu-ray is Zomblogalypse, that we filmed a few years back, and it's based around a group of people who decide to make a film during the zombie apocalypse about the zombie apocalypse. So it's like 10 years in.
Right.
So it's based off of a web series, which is also called Zomblogalypse, which was made by Tony Hickwell, Miles Watts, and Hannah Bungard. And basically I'm like a completely different character. I'm this excitable super fan of theirs. And we go and join and try and make a horror film during a zombie apocalypse, basically.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fun. So that's just come out on Blu-ray via Dark Rift Presents, which is Dark Rift Horror's new distribution label.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That has just come out. I've obviously got Eat Miss Campbell that we touched on, which hopefully will come out later this year, I believe, on Blu-ray, if not early next year. That's, I think, just finishing off its festival run. And then, I've got a paranormal film that's set in my character's set in the 70s, and that was a lot of fun to shoot. I can't say too much about it.
That's okay.
Cool.
But so hopefully that'll come out next year. So that's really exciting. Then I've got some upcoming projects as well. So
amazing.
It's good.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm really intrigued about the paranormal 70s set one. That sounds pretty different from what you've done before.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I want to see Zomblogalypse.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Again, very similar to low budget, very similar kind of to Book of Monsters vibes. It's a very silly film. It's very British zombie film. It's good.
I love it.
That's cool. Yeah, no, definitely keep an eye out for those. Okay, Lyndsey, so if people want to, where can they find you online?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Twitter, just at Lyndsey Craine. Just very simple, just my name.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then the films, obviously, How to Kill Monsters, just again, just at How to Kill Monsters. So very simple.
Amazing.
We like it simple.
Yeah, we do indeed.
Lyndsey, thank you so much for coming on. You're an absolute superstar.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's been so great.
I still can't quite believe you managed to pull this off.
No, me?
Well,
it's team effort, Grant. Team effort.
Yeah, team effort. It makes a dream work.
Yeah, sure does. But yeah, once again, Lyndsey, thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you.
No worries. All the best.
Guys, as our usual tells you, we're everywhere ourselves. We're on Spotify, Apple, all of them. I can't go through them all. We are on Patreon to get involved. We've got a bit of new merch, so contact us if you want some. Once again, thank you for listening. Yeah, just as Grant said, really, just to wrap it up, thanks for listening again, guys. We will see you soon.